Nation, we've made it to Friday, TGIF edition of the show, the number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got my man Eli Walker here in the production studio, and as always, folks, we bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. You hit that subscribe button right now. You tap subscribe. You get locked in, locked on to all things Bama football. You get all casual fans, diehard fans, consumers of Tide football, friends, family members locked on to Touchdown Alabama Magazine right here on YouTube. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Smash the like button. Give us that thumbs up. Raise those like levels up there. We appreciate that from you. The daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. There's a lot of stuff we're going to get into on tonight's show, and we want you being a part of the action. How can you be a part of it? By calling 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from all of you. We already got a super chat in here, Eli. My man Bill! Bill from New York dropping that $7 donation in the bucket there. Showing us love on the show. Appreciate that from Bill. A daily super chat Go, $100 right there. But, Eli, we jump into right now, topic one of today. And the people, Bama Nation, you're going to have to familiarize yourself all over again with this Crimson Tide roster. I understand for a lot of you, you guys were out there, spring football, spring practice, A-Day game. So many different numbers were being thrown at you, and you had to memorize all those numbers. And you were probably like, why in the world do I have to memorize all of this? Well, now here we go again, Bama Nation. Once again, the Crimson Tide players are asking you, the fans, to memorize more numbers. Put more numbers in your memory banks. Why? Because we have different jerseys here being changed. Yesterday, Alabama had its media shoot, the photo shoot, the video shoot, and 3 more players have new numbers. 3 more players have changed their jerseys. 3 more players, Eli, we got to get even more familiar with. So, during the spring, we had Jaheim Otis go from 91 to 10. And we were like, what in the world is this? But it happened. We had Jamarian Latham go from 93 to 20. We had Jihad Campbell go from 30 to 11, well, 30 to 11. We had Deontay Lawson go from 32 to Agent 0. We had quite a few number changes that had our heads were kind of spinning there, right? So now, here we are again, headed to the summer, 3 more number changes. So here we go. According to the video shoot, we have Kendrick Law, who's gone from 19 to 1. Remember when Kendrick Law first got here, he was wearing number 83. And then Law changed from 83 to 19. The last 2 seasons, his freshman, sophomore year, he wore number 19. Going into his junior year, Kendrick Law will wear number 1. Number 1 now. Jamison Williams is old number. Jahmyr Gibbs is old number. Now Kendrick Law is wearing number 1. You look at Emmanuel Henderson Jr. He's gone from number 24 to number 3. Emmanuel Henderson will no longer wear number 24. He's wearing number 3. There's E-Man there wearing number 3. And James Smith, the bully from Carver High School in Montgomery, going into his sophomore year, he will no longer wear number 47. He now has number 23. So Kendrick Law going from 19 to 1. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. going from 24 to 3. James Smith going from 47 to 23. Those are some updates for you right there in terms of jersey changes. When you look at Emmanuel Henderson and Kendrick Law, these two look to have marquee roles here as wide receivers. They look to have a big impact in the wide receiver room. I remember having a conversation with current Alabama wide receiver Kobe Prentice. He talked about, Bama could have 4 guys in that wide receiver room go over 1,000 yards. Could one of these two be one of those 4 guys? Remains to be seen here, but Kendrick Law and Emmanuel Henderson Jr. look to be marquee playmakers in the wide receiver room. The question for James Smith is, can he emerge in having a big second year at Alabama? As a defensive lineman, Smith played quite a bit this past season. I think he had like 3 tackles on the year. He's gotten quicker, stronger, quick-twitched as an inside rusher. Got the gist of that throughout spring practice, especially in the spring game. He's got that ability to shut down running backs as well as knife his way inside to create that interior pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Can James Smith have a monster second year where Alabama football is concerned? A lot of attention will be on him. He's changed his number from 47 to 23. But that's going to do it for that first topic, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we're going to go to the phone lines. We're getting your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. What are you most looking forward to as summer workouts come in? What position group are you most looking forward to see dominate in the upcoming fall? We'll get to you, the Alabama fan base, right after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people. We're back to the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Number one ticket here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Happy to have my man Eli Walker in the production studio right here. And happy to have you guys checking us out here on a Friday. Phone lines open. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you. We go to the phone lines now to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, brother?
Doing good, Mike. And yourself, how you feeling?
Oh, man, if I was any better, I'd be twins.
Let's go, baby.
All right, man. As far as position groups that I want to see dominate this year, I think the key is going to be on the down lineman on the defensive side. If we can get monster performances from at least 2 of our 4 down linemen, that means everybody we play is going to have a bad day on their offensive line. And when the O-line don't work, not much works at all. What do you think, Steven?
Mike, absolutely. If Alabama can have 2 of the 4 down linemen go off this season, and not just that, if Alabama can keep a rotation of guys, getting out on the field, and when your starters take a rest, take a breather, those rotationary pieces come in, and there's no drop-off in production, that's what I want to see. Because in years past, we saw that. We saw that in years past. If a Jonathan Allen had to go take a breath of air and you brought in a Quentin Williams, there was no drop-off. If a Deron Payne had to go take a breath of air and a Dalvin Tomlinson came in, you had no drop-off. If somebody that was a starter had to go to the sideline, take about a play or 2 off, the backup comes in, and it's still wrecking shop out there, that's what I want to see from this defensive line.
Yeah, me too. If they're mean, ugly, and nasty this year, that'll make everybody look better. It makes everybody's job easier if a quarterback's running for his life. Let me ask you a question. How them boys come in from Carver last year? What are they looking like this year?
Well, right now, James Smith has a shot to be one of these 4 starters on the defensive line. I mean, he had a really good spring. He's gotten a whole lot better. He's quick twitch. He's fast. He can knife his way inside, create some pressure. When you look at Quay Russaw, he is right there in that wolf competition as far as that stand-up edge rusher. He's right there. So I think Russaw is going to get quite the amount of playing time this year. I think both guys are in really good spots.
Yeah, I hope Keeley has a big year along with Otis. And if those 2 boys can crank it up, I don't see us having any trouble at all, no matter who we play. All right, man, I'm out, brother. Right on. Roll dead and gum tight, everybody.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in there. So some information on Keeley. Keeley's versatility has him in 2 different spots. Keeley can play in the wolf as that stand-up rush linebacker, Eli. But the vision that Kane Womack and Freddie Roach have for Keeley is for him to be that 4-eye, that bandit defensive end type role, where he's playing on the line as well with the hand in the dirt. So Keeley's got big versatility. Does he end up 4-eye defensive end? Does he end up at wolf? I could see him more so as the defensive end guy rushing with that hand in the dirt there. But we're going to take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven. This is Corey from Trustful. How are you doing this afternoon?
Corey, I'm doing well, man. Getting myself through the summer, but moving through it just fine. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. When I look at this Alabama schedule here, you can look at it at 2 different ways. You look at it as this. There's 5 possibly tough games on this schedule with Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Missouri, and Oklahoma as the toughest games, that losable games. Or you could look at it as possibly just 2 losable games, with it being Georgia and LSU. I think you could split the difference there, and Alabama may be losing just 2 games, because you have to remember there's more margin for error this year, with it being the 12-team playoff. Because, in my opinion, I don't think nobody's going undefeated this year. I really don't. As good as Georgia and Ohio State are supposed to be, I don't think nobody's going undefeated this year. And with a new coach, some new players, I think, like I said, there's room for error this year. And I'm not saying we're going to lose to Georgia or LSU, but I'm saying if you do, you don't. It's not anything to really worry about. But I do think that the schedule does set up to where you do have margin for error. Would you agree?
The way I look at it, Corey, and I appreciate your thought on that is the 12-team playoff. It does present you with more wiggle room than in years past. In years past, it was 4 teams. You lose one game, you scared to death because you're wondering, is my shot over to get in? You lose 2, you're dead in the water, period. So to have 12 teams now, you have much more wiggle room. I know this is something that Kalen DeBoer doesn't want to dwell on because he's focused on every team. He's focused on every opponent and the significance of each game and trying to get one of those 4 first-round byes in the 12-team playoff. But, Corey, you're right. I mean, going with 12 teams, it does give you a bit more wiggle room. It does allow you to think like, okay, if I do lose 1 or if I do lose 2, it doesn't put me out of the college playoff picture because if I continue to win, even if I do lose 1 or 2, I may not get that first round bye, but I'm still in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, let's say, for example, we was to lose to Georgia or in somebody else and make it to the SEC championship, you might could steal the top 4 seed from Georgia.
You could.
So you get
That's a possibility. You could.
You can get your top 4 seed back. It also depends on what everybody else does around you. Does a conference championship somewhere else have an upset, or does like I said, does that conference championship game open up a spot for you? And also, let me ask you this about the secondary. I know we had a lot of players in the transfer portal, and we had some players come in, but do you feel confident that our secondary won't be a liability to where we'll just have busted coverages everywhere and people not know what to do? Because under Saban, the secondary was always a strong point. I know it's Kalen DeBoer, but the secondary, I think if everything can come together with all the new players, that this can be good, because the secondary is not garbage because it's not duct taped together. We got some talented players. It's just they're all having to learn a new system because they all came from different places.
I'll say this, Corey. The 2 reasons why I think Alabama's secondary is going to be very good this season. Number 1, to have Malachi Moore back. That was huge. This guy is an experienced veteran. He's played a ton of football. He has a national championship on his resume. He's been battle-tested. He's been through some stuff. Having Malachi Moore back is huge. And then you have Devontae Smith back with him, who knows the culture of Alabama football, who's played in the secondary. Yes, he's been through some injuries, but to have Malachi, to have Devontae Smith, to have, I know Damani Jackson's coming from a different program, but he's got experience coming from USC. And Keon Saab, yes, he comes from a different program in Michigan, but he's got national championship experience, and he's bringing that, or he has brought that to Tuscaloosa. So I think those 4 guys, in particular, having Malachi and Devontae Smith, that sets the secondary up to be good, because you got 2 guys on the back end that know the expectation of his program and did not hit the transfer portal but chose to remain and stick this thing out with Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, I agree. And what always helps out a good secondary is a good pass rush. And if this defensive line is as good as it's supposed to be, and if it can collapse the pocket and let our outside linebackers do its thing, it won't make the secondary be on islands, because there are some good receivers in the SEC. So if your front 7 can help out your secondary, that will go a long ways as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's going to be the big thing, Corey, with Freddie Roach and this defensive line. You got 14 guys that you can rotate up front. So you're looking at 3 deep at each position. If these guys can go out there, and if you're 4 down linemen, at least 2 of them, If your 4-down lineman can go out there, collapse the pocket, disrupt the timing of opposing offenses, and really get after the quarterback and make the opposing offensive line in complete fear, then it's going to make the job a lot easier for your linebackers and for your defensive secondary. This is a big year for Freddie Roach in the front line.
Yeah, because that's we all know that the SEC is a line of scrimmage league both ways, and that's why championships are won, because pressure creates turnovers, and this is an offensive football world we live in, so you get more turnovers, give more opportunities for your offense to score, therefore you can put games away. So that's why I think it's important for this front seven to get after it, and I think they can. And with this new 4-2-5 defense, I think that it can work. It's just we haven't seen it a lot because Saban didn't run it a lot, but now we'll see it up close and personal all the time, and hopefully it'll bring success because it worked at Washington, and hopefully it'll work at Alabama.
Appreciate Corey calling in from Trustville, giving his thoughts on the show. The 4-2-5 under Kane Womack. I mean, yes, it worked at South Alabama. It's worked at some of the other programs that Coach Womack's been at. But it starts off with the defensive line. Those 4-down linemen. Those 4-down linemen create pressure. Those 4-down linemen get after the quarterback. Those 4-down linemen, they clog the middle. They stop the run. Then it becomes easier for your linebackers to fly around and make plays. Then it becomes easier for your secondary to make plays. So it starts off with those 4-down linemen in the 4-2-5. And hopefully, like I mentioned, Freddie Roach gets that good rotation out there, mixes it up, see what happens. But gotta show some love to my man Dale B. Dale B dropping that $20 donation, putting that love in the bucket there, helping us out on the show. Cool call topic here, Eli. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently an LSU pundit, Matt Moscona, took some shots at Alabama for it flipping Keelan Russell from SMU. Basically, Matt Moscona said, Bama's in trouble. Oh, the mighty Bama. The mighty Bama was so used to getting whoever it wanted. It had its pick of a litter. It could cherry pick whomever. Now it's relegated to getting kids from SMU? This is bad for Alabama. It had to go out there and get a 3-star quarterback in Keelan Russell? I'm like, first off, Keelan Russell's a 5-star and a top 100 player. And then I'm like, Matt Moscona, you do realize that Greg McElroy, I think, was a 3-star. You won a national championship with him. Jacob Coker, coming out of high school, was a 3-star before he went to Florida State and then ultimately transferred to Alabama. You won a national championship with him. Mac Jones was a 3-star from the Bowles High School in Jacksonville, Florida. And he leads you to a national championship, so Matt Moscona not quite understanding the point you were trying to make there. I mean, Keelan Russell's a 4-star quarterback who plays in one of the toughest regions in Texas. Recently led Duncanville High School to a state championship. But then again, it is what it is. People are going to troll Alabama no matter what the Crimson Tide does. We're going to take a break here, folks, in the show and touch that down. When we get back, we get into topic number 2 of the conversation. Ty Simpson's turning up some heat. Now, we know Jalen Milroe's the expected starter. But what has Ty Simpson been doing that has us confident that he can run this offense if something were to happen to Milroe? We'll talk Simpson after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break. Number one form for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Friday, TGIF edition here of the show. You guys continue to hit that subscribe button. Make this your spot, your place for all things Tide football. Tap the like button as well. Hit that thumbs up there. Get those like levels up. We appreciate all of you showing that support right there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. Thanks to all of you, Bama family. But topic two of the conversation here, we know Jalen Milroe expected to be the starting quarterback in the coming fall. He's the guy. He's QB1. But it's great when you have a phenomenal quarterback room, because if something were to happen to QB1, no, God forbid, but if something were to happen to QB1, you have other guys. You have another guy you can trust that can go out there, run the offense, operate the offense, and get this team to, a national championship. That guy for Alabama is Ty Simpson. Simpson is turning up the heat this summer. He has been working his tail off. Whether he's been down there training with Yo Murphy in Tampa, Florida, along with Jalen Milroe, whether he's been working with his dad, Jason Simpson, who's a college coach, or whether he's been putting in time with QB Country, a training facility organization that works with quarterbacks across the Southeastern Conference, Ty Simpson's been putting in work. He was with QB Country out of Nashville, and he was dropping dimes. I mean, just dropping dimes, layering passes, touch, accuracy, footwork, moving around, extending plays. You see it right here on the screen. Ty's putting the work in. And Simpson, when he came out of high school, Westview High in Martin, Tennessee, in the 2022 class, came out as a 5-star, Gatorade Player of the Year. Now, this is a young man that has always had the tools as a passer. He's always had the mechanics as a passer. Just had to grow in some areas. Had to get his mental clock sharpened. Had to get, just a few things in play. But now he's in a position where if he's called upon to go out there and win some football games, he can do that. He wants to win Kalen DeBoer a national championship. He wants to do that. And here's a guy in Simpson that played in 6 games last year. More notably, he got in against South Florida in that monsoon of rain. Terrible ESPN camera angle. Was a game where Bama had to gut it out. Tyler Buckner started that game because Jalen Milroe was benched. And Buckner, bless his heart, couldn't do anything. And you have to go with Ty Simpson. Simpson leads you on 2 80-yard touchdown drives, helping Bama win the game 17-3. There was a moment where Simpson and Jalen Milroe hugged each other, embraced each other. Milroe was so proud of Simpson to go out there and just get the job done. Go out there, find a way to win. Simpson also last year recorded a rushing touchdown. So he's got experience. He's got confidence. Had a very good A-Day game. I think he went 7 of 12 passing. Connected a lot with Cole Adams. Connected some with Caleb Odom. Connected some with Jeremy Bernard. So Ty can play. Can flat play. And to see him out there work with QB country, showing you the accuracy, the precision, the ball placement, his ability to extend plays, move around, doing some of those things that made him a star in high school. This is good. This is good. He's showing you that he can maneuver this offense. He can manipulate it. He can operate it. If something were to happen to Milroe, he can get the job done. This is what Ty Simpson is showing you right here. So I'm looking forward to seeing this quarterback room even more in fall camp, to see how everybody pushes everybody to be great, to be at their best, to be at their strongest. Going to be really good right there. But taking another break right here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to those phone lines. We grab more of your calls, more of your thoughts, more of your conversations. We get back to you, the Alabama fans, after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwill Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwillsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, here we go. We're back into the action from the break. Number one ticket here, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Happy to have you guys in here with us. Phone lines open. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. But I want to call in 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We definitely want to hear from you. And as you are getting your thoughts set to call in, Eli, how cool is this? Bama football's got a partnership with NASCAR. How about that? Bama football, King and DeBoer and Company, they got a partnership with NASCAR. If you go on X, formerly known as Twitter, and you go to Alabama football's social media, they got all the pictures right there. Bama football partnering up with NASCAR. They also got a partnership, I think, with the Jordan brand, the Jumpman brand. The Bama's got the partnerships going. They got one with the Michael Jordan brand. They got one with NASCAR. So really cool there for the Crimson Tide to be stacking up the partnerships here. That's really cool. And does this mean these partnerships will lead to national championships? Hopefully. That's what we can all hope for. That's what we can all, push for, think about. But Alabama, they got partnerships with NASCAR. Alabama got the partnership here with the Jordan Jumpman brand. But we take our final break here on the show and touch that dial. When we get back, we wrap things up with this discussion There are two freshmen who can really shake up the wide receiver room rotation. Will they be able to do it? We'll discuss that to wrap things up after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama, and you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, people, how we feeling? We're back into the action from the break here. Number one ticket for your Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. We appreciate you guys. Continue smashing the subscribe button. Tapping subscribe right here. Hitting the like button. Giving us all your energy, all your enthusiasm. Getting those like levels up. We appreciate that on the show. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from, all of you. And as we get into the final discussion here, Eli, Bama's got they got several freshman receivers in here, but two in particular have a chance to really shake up this rotation here. Two of them do. The two I'm referring to, Caleb Odom and Ryan Williams. How much can they shake up this rotation, right? Alabama could have 4 1,000-yard receivers, but could these two be 2 of the 4? I got a chance to talk to a very close, credible source of mine, vetted with the team, Eli. He was telling me that, Caleb Odom could start off as that Mike Evans-like receiver for Alabama. Mike Evans, who played for Texas A&M with Johnny Manziel. Mike Evans, who's been in the National Football League with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans, of whom big body, huge catch radius, security blanket receiver, explosive guy, big target, right? So I'm being told Caleb Odom could be that third down target, that big red zone target, that guy that can really stretch the field, 50-50 balls, contested catches. He could be that guy for Alabama. And if Caleb Odom is that guy for Alabama, then that's fantastic, right? Because I mentioned Bama hasn't had a big-bodied receiver that has panned out in terms of the program since Julio Jones. Julio was the last physical big body to really pan out. Other guys, either injuries took them or they just didn't fit. So here's Caleb Odom at 6'5", who has the talent, has the size, the athleticism, the body type. He's got all of these tools working for him here. If he is that third down, jump ball, contested catches, red zone target, then that's huge. Then when you look at Ryan Williams, Ryan can play in the slot. Ryan can play on the outside. He's just an explosive playmaker. I mean, you watch this guy's game, there are several different Alabama receivers. If you look at him, you can see some Jamison Williams. You can. If you look at him, you can see some Henry Ruggs. It's there. You look at him, you can see some Devontae Smith there. He's a good mixture of guys. He's a competitor, wants to be out there, wants to be a starter, has that kind of potential. But how much can he and Caleb Odom shake up this rotation to where they're both in there? That's gonna be a good question. That's gonna be some good entertainment right there. You're Jamarcus Shepard, excuse me. You got all of these guys, you got all of these bodies in one room that you can coach up and pick from to have them out there on the field. It's going to be really good here for Alabama football. But Ryan Williams, Caleb Odom, which one of these two can, or if not both, can really shake some stuff up here? Well, folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, material, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I try to be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you got to subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com. Get that subscription to TouchdownAlabama.com. We got you exclusive articles, perspective pieces, even during the summer. We are your plug for all things Bama football. Whether you're looking at freshman recruiting, transfer portal recruiting, the current team, the current coaching staff, or even former Bama players in the National Football League, we got you covered. Even with our video hub, subscribe to TDA Plus. We got you with Steven's report, me going out for the practices and reporting on and showing you what I've seen. The way it is with yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, giving you my never-before-heard told stories about Bama football. And even of a Justin and Dex podcast, all things recruiting. Justin's recruiting bites, him out there covering these athletes like nobody else does. TouchdownAlabama.com. TDA Plus is what you need to be subscribed to right now. But gotta show some love to all of you, the Bama fans, for all of your support today. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walk in the production studio. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, good thing, fun thing, legitimate thing, smart thing to not be bored there. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.